I'm standing in front of the West Palm Beach courthouse. In this week's Torah portion, Moshe Rabbeinu demands justice for the Jewish people from Pharaoh. He says, God instructed me to tell you, let my people go. And of course, Pharaoh refuses. And Pharaoh says, who is God that I should listen to him? And so Moses performs a miracle. He takes his staff and he throws it down onto the ground, and the staff turns into a snake. And Pharaoh says, big deal. My magicians can do the same thing. And the magicians of Pharaoh take their staffs and throw it down onto the ground, and lo and behold, their staffs also turn into snakes. Then the Torah says, the staff of Moses turned back into a staff and then swallowed up all the staffs of Pharaoh's magicians. And the question is, why is it that first Moses' staff reverted into a staff and then swallowed up the other staffs of Pharaoh's magicians? And the Rabbi points out that the message is that sometimes you have to consume someone, metaphorically, meaning you have to defeat them, you have to punish them, you have to bring about justice. But don't do it like a serpent, do it like a staff. Don't do it with a feeling of vengeance or a feeling of animosity or hatred, but like the Lord that has to be colorblind. Do it out of a necessity to bring about justice for the victim. And therefore Moses' staff turns back into a staff, because it's telling us don't bite with venom like a snake, but do what you have to do without any personal bias or vindictiveness. Do it like a staff, just because it is necessary to bring about justice. Thank God we live in a day and age today that we do have courts and we do have means of bringing about justice, unlike in the days of Pharaoh, where God had to perform supernatural miracles. But the greatest blessing in life is that we should follow the ways of the Torah and the 7 Noahide laws. So we don't need to deal with courts to bring about justice, because we act kindly, compassionately, and justly with others. I had an interesting experience this past Friday. As you know, the synagogue delivers challah to people before Shabbos. And it was right before candlelighting, and I had one challah that I wanted to bring to a certain family. When I came there, the family wasn't there, and I realized I had this extra challah. And so I'm driving home right before Shabbos with this extra challah. And suddenly I see this lovely couple dressed really beautifully. She was wearing a long dress, very modest. He was wearing a suit and a tie, and they were pushing a baby stroller. And they looked like a religious Jewish couple. So I rolled down my window and I was studying their faces, trying to figure it out. And then I said, you know what, I'll just say good Shabbos and see how they respond. So I say good Shabbos. And he gives me a big smile, and he smiles back and says good Shabbos. But he's not saying anything else, and I'm still not sure, is he Jewish or not? So I said to him, excuse, are you Jewish? And he said to me, no. It was December 24th. He said, I just came from Mass at church for the holiday. And he starts laughing. And he says, well, I have a lot of Jewish friends. And then I said to him, well, would you like a challah for Shabbos? And he knew right away what a challah was. And he said, of course, I'd love a challah. When he came over to the window, he took the challah and he smiled at me and he said, Rabbi, you just did a big mitzvah. Today we live in a day and age where, thank God, in many cases, we have beautiful, peaceful relationships with our neighbors. We don't live in a society like Egypt where we're oppressed. And this is one of the blessings of our day and age. And indeed, this lovely couple sent in a donation online, a very generous donation to the synagogue this week, with a little beautiful note that said, I don't know the name of the rabbi, but there was a very friendly rabbi who gave us the challah before Shabbos. God bless you. Keep up the good work. That's the type of relationships we should have with every human being. The message of the Exodus from Egypt is that God doesn't want any human being to ever take advantage, abuse, or oppress any other human being. Because God says every human being is in my image. Every human being is a divine gift. And therefore, when you encounter another human being, see the presence of God in them and treat them with the respect, the dignity, the honor, the love and compassion that every person deserves. Have a wonderful day.